Will Deshaun Watson...
Can we just skip this team?
Will Deshaun Watson...
This team.
No, I think they're good.
This team.
I think they're good. I think they could be really
Ziggy,
good.
what do you think? What do you think, Ziggy?
Ziggy's high in the Browns.
I'm extremely high. No one is treating the Browns like a team that has a player that is a proven top 5 quarterback.
Oh, because they stink.
All right, here's what we got. The question on the Browns is, will Deshaun Watson return to form? Sounds like Ziggy thinks yes, but we'll get there in a second. On paper, the team is really, really good.
I heard that one before.
They are. On paper, they're a very good team.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Some big acquisitions on the defensive line. They get Jim Schwartz now calling the plays.
Odell and Chubb. No, it was bored.
Don't forget about Landry, Odell, Landry, Chubb.
Oh, this team's great.
And we can't forget about Ziggy's big guy.
look.
Ziggy, who's your guy? Let him know. Who is it? Who's the guy?
Look, David and Joke is
There it is.
Look, 2022, a lot went wrong for Cleveland.
These guys stink.
You got to be fair to them.
These guys stink.
Defense was
Look.
hurt. Watson didn't play for what? 11 weeks, 12 weeks. He didn't come until week 13.
He didn't go to practice till week 11 anyway.
Yeah,
either.
we can't judge anything he did last season. It's all a wash to me right now. Like are the weapons. So anyway, going into this year, I agree with Ziggy that maybe not that he'll be a top 5 quarterback, but Deshaun Watson, the only way the Browns are a contender at all is if he returns to top 10 quarterback form. And I mean, he has what, a 5-year, $230 million guaranteed deal. So for Cleveland fans, he better play like a top 10 quarterback in the league. His numbers just weren't good last year. And the one concerning thing was week to week, you didn't really see it get better. But I'm fine to watch that because he didn't play for 2 full freaking seasons. So now he has a full off season. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like Elijah Moore coming in is going to make a big difference to the receiving group.
But having Elijah Moore and Marquise Goodwin will open new looks for him.
Yeah, you got Goodwin, Moore, Amari Cooper is still very good. Nick Chubb.
Marquise Goodwin? The guy who hasn't played on a real team
they're like fine
in like 3 years?
Elijah Moore's a fine third receiver. Amari Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones is fine. Nick Chubb's one of the best running backs in football, and Njoku played well. The offensive line, beasts. And the defense should be a lot better because they were all hurt last season. I look at the Browns. I don't see why Deshaun Watson won't go back to top 5 form, top 10 form. I think when he played in Houston, very, very good. We finally get a full offseason. He's only 28 years old right now, I think. I am a big believer. I'm not huge on Kevin Stefanski. I never was. In Minnesota, I don't see what people saw in him. We just didn't have a good offense. And he went to Cleveland, had one good year, and since then they've kind of slowly been trickling downhill. With Deshaun Watson, though, I think a lot of it will come down to the mental game, too. You got to wonder what it was like last year. Every stadium he went into,
I think he's done.
He was the most hated guy, and probably will be this year again, but the noise won't be as loud. And really, even this offseason, we could tell the noise isn't that loud on him. Where is he at mentally? Those are all questions I have about Watson. Why are you so high on him, Ziggy?
Before Deshaun Watson played a snap last year, he had the highest career quarterback rating of any player in NFL history. There are very few guys in the NFL that have demonstrated that for an extended period of time, they can play like a top 5 quarterback. And whatever becomes of him this year, no one can say for sure, but he has done that, right? Deshaun Watson has proved that he can play like a top 5 quarterback over the course of 3 seasons. If he can recapture that form, you're talking about a team that's got one of the best quarterbacks in the AFC, a team that's got fine weapons around him with an elite offensive line. A team that's got no clear weaknesses on defense ever since they added Dalvin Tomlinson. Right? There's a lot to like about this team.
Smith too, yeah.
Yeah, they reformed a lot of the staff, right? They got rid of a couple offensive guys. They got a brand new defensive coordinator to replace Jim Schwartz, or to replace Joe Woods, excuse me. Like, there's a lot to be excited for about this team. So I think Deshaun Watson, it makes sense that he was rusty. Stefanski, built an entire offense for Jacoby Brissett, and then tried to force Deshaun Watson into it. Give him an offseason, it's going to look a lot better than 3-3.
Is he selling you?
Brissett didn't deal with this scandal. Watson's finished. This ruined his career. He's done.
You don't. To be fair, you don't see a lot of guys come back from 2 years away.
No, you don't. Every single game, also now he puts on the Browns uniform, teams are out to hit him.
Although Mike Vick, he was gone for 2 years, right?
I don't think Watson's Mike Vick.
What do you mean teams are out to hit him? None of these guys in the NFL care about this. All his teammates were partying when he came to Cleveland. No one cares. They should, but they don't.
Well, they should care about it, yeah, but
the dude is a weirdo.
I'm sure some Browns players do.
I think now this whole scandal, being out of the NFL for 2 years, we saw the rust last year, and the rust is there. Nothing's changing. and I'm done talking about the Browns. I've talked for the
Black Cloud.
I've talked about the Browns for the last 4 or 5 years when it was like this is the new team in the AFC North, and like your Steelers, like Big Ben's going downhill, they stink, and we're still better than them. So I'm done with this. I think when you put on that uniform, just things go to hell. So I am totally finished talking about the Browns. They'll be 6-11, last place. Watson's going to stink, and that'll be that. And we'll come back to this clip when it happens.
Yeah, no, we will. My gut tells me that Watson's in trouble.
It's over. You don't sit out for 2 years, come back, stink, and then expect to not stink.
But I think the pieces are there for him to rebound well. I actually do. My prediction is, along with Ziggy, that he'll be one of the better quarterbacks in football again.
I think that he is the fourth best quarterback in the AFC North.
That's absurd.
I think I'd rather have Pickett, Lamar, and Joe Burrow.
Apparently he's lighting it up, or he was lighting it up in minicamp. Just
as was everybody.
Who was lighting it up?
Deshaun Watson had I saw a quote, 3 best practices as a Brown in minicamp.
So he's only had 3 practices.
He's looking good. He's looking good. All right, Ziggy, any closing thoughts on the Browns?
Before Ziggy puts his closing thoughts, so people could see him on the screen. If you can move to the left a little bit, that'd be wonderful.
Thanks, Ziggy.
Thank you.
All I was gonna say was, we good, Zach?
Yeah, we're good now.
All I was gonna say was, the Deshaun Watson move is gonna look one of 2 ways for Cleveland. It'll either look like one of the biggest busts in NFL history, maybe the biggest. Like the thing that just completely took all the momentum out of the building success, or else a gamble that paid off big. I think next year we're going to find out which one it was. Honestly, by week 8, we'll know which one it was.
I agree with you. And that's kind of similar to what we were saying about the Bears. You'll probably know.
The Bears are better than the Browns.
By midseason. You'll probably know by midseason whether or not Justin Fields is going to be that guy going forward, or at least what you can expect to see in 2024 over the course of the 2023 season. Browns fans, $230 million fully guaranteed. That's a lot of money.
I cannot wait until they're 1-7, and this dude's being tossed on his ass week after week.
Browns or Packers? Who's worse?
The Browns are worse than the Packers.
I hope that's what happens, Jack. I just don't see it.
Oh, Ziggy's not a Deshaun Watson fan. He's just a Deshaun Watson
appreciator.
I was gonna say believer, but that sounds.
I see him play football. He looks pretty good. That's what I'll say.